home from practice, and certainly was a very, very difficult weekend for all of us. And had a meeting with the team today. We talked about a lot of things, and there's a good group of our guys who played with Dwayne, and they're hurting. It was a tough weekend for all of us. Certainly our prayers are going out with the family, the entire family, his wife, certainly his parents. Dwayne and Tamara were awesome. His sister Tamia, I know he and Dwayne were very, very close. He used to talk about her all the time. And certainly all his friends and teammates. And it's hard to wrap your mind around something like this, especially when it just happened so tragically to a young person, especially somebody who had such a big heart. I think when you think about Dwayne, you just think about the compassion that he had, certainly for all of his teammates and his friends, but just, he always took time after practice to be around family members, kids. He was like a big brother to RJ. Remember, he took RJ to a high school basketball or high school football game, and they spent a lot of time together. He meant a lot to my family, he meant a lot to this program, and he's going to be sorely missed. It's so close to Saturday morning right now. It's still hard to kind of get our feet underneath us and see clearly right now, but we all are hurting, and I know you guys are going to have some questions, but appreciate you guys coming out today.
We'll open up the floor for some questions. We'll go front row left, Dave Biddle, 24/7 Sports.
Hi, Brian. What were some of your first impressions of Dwayne when you met him when you first got here in 2017? What are just some of your favorite memories of Dwayne overall?
Yeah, I think the first thing was you just saw somebody who you just enjoyed to be around. Our guys really enjoyed being around him. He uplifted others. That smile that he had was just infectious. And he kind of had an old soul about him. Somebody who was young and very, very talented on the field, just had a gift for throwing the football. But sometimes when you're talking to him, you felt like you were talking to a 45 or 50-year-old man. Just the way he approached life in general. He was a man of faith. And he really had great integrity and values about him. Some of my favorite memories are probably just the day-to-day stuff that we have. That some of those are private, but on the field, my favorite game was the Maryland game. I thought that was the game where he really grew up. I think he had 3 rushing touchdowns in that game, and that was back in his home state, and he was not going to be denied that day. And he showed real toughness, which was something that I know he wanted to kind of prove to everybody that he was not just a throwing quarterback, because the quarterbacks we had previously with JT and Braxton, they were runners, and they could also throw the ball. But I think Dwayne saw himself as a passer who could also run the ball, and he was trying to show it that day. And that was a very, very, very difficult game, and he stepped up in a big way. And I remember that one probably the most.
I would have bet money that you would pick the game against your rivals that year, but I hear what you're saying. Just one more from me. Speaking of that 2018 season, you guys will always be intertwined, you and Dwayne, for revolutionizing the Ohio State offense. Him as the record-breaking quarterback, you as the offensive coordinator calling the shots, and as the head coach for 3 games that season. What are your thoughts about that?
I don't know. I think that there's a lot of people that are involved, but certainly Dwayne really kickstarted, kind of the way that we've thrown the ball and the passing game here, and the story of how he was recruited, and is quite interesting. And just the way that he was 11 years old walking through this facility and said that this is what I'm going to do, and then did it. I think that's the legacy he's going to leave behind to so many other younger people across the country, not just in Buckeye Nation, is that you can set a dream and goal and go achieve it. And he did it, and then really broke a lot of records that year, that first year in 2018. And I think that's probably one of the biggest legacies he's going to leave behind, is just he set a dream and he chased it and he did it. And but I do think when you think about the passing game now and kind of where it's going and where it is, he's had a big part of that.